Imagine Ethan and Donovan right here. They have resumes right here. Imagine they're dressed exactly alike. Okay, they're not right now, so you can't really do it. Imagine they're the same size, they have the same haircut, they're dressed exactly alike, everything. They're exactly alike. Their teeth are the same. One doesn't have crooked teeth and one straight teeth. One doesn't have like a 2-day-old beard and another on a 3-day-old beard. They're exactly the same. They shake hands the same. Exactly the same firmness. They hold the hand the same amount of time. They shake it once, not twice. They look in the eye for the exact amount of time. They have the same speech pattern. Everything about them is the same, except one has dark skin, one has white skin, and their resumes are the same. But we change up the resumes. We switch off. Sometimes he has a felony drug conviction. Donovan does, and sometimes Ethan has a felony drug conviction. We switch back and forth, and we want to see who do employers want to hire? This is a test. It's a test. You can't know. You cannot. Some of you can. If I pass the mic around and I say, give me stories of discrimination here in State College, some of you will raise your hand and say, well, I didn't get an apartment. This landlord wouldn't rent an apartment to me that I really wanted, and then later I found out that they rented to a white person. And I'm like, well, that's not discrimination. It might be, but you don't know that. It might be, but you don't know that. You have no idea, right? Well, the security guard followed me around in the store. It's like, that's not discrimination. Like, whatever, they just followed you around in the store. Yeah, but I'm the only one with black skin. That doesn't matter. That's not discrimination. That's not racism, because they followed you around. How do you know that for the last 12 people they followed around weren't white people? Like, you don't know that. You can't know. We can only know when we do these things like tester studies, and we control for everything. So we control for these guys. And then they go into these job interviews, in the same job, and we go back and forth, and we say, like, okay, who's going to get callbacks? Are we following here, right? Who's going to get callbacks? So go to the next slide. And so we know that Ethan right here is going to get the most callbacks because he's white, and especially when he doesn't have on his resume, he doesn't accept that or say that he has a felony drug conviction. We know that, right? The white guy is going to get more callbacks. Dudes, white people, look, get this in your heads. So what you're going to see today is that white people have this idea that, well, but it's actually works against me to be white because this guy gets all the benefits and so on, right? Because black people, they get all the advantages because we all have this stuff called affirmative action and so on, so it works against me. No, dude, trust me, what you're going to see by the end of today is we get lots and lots and lots of affirmative action. So here we go on this one. We know that he's going to get the most callbacks when he doesn't have a felony drug conviction. So who gets the second most? Is it Donovan here without a criminal record, or is it Ethan here with a criminal record? So we did this before, right? So go ahead. And so we see that it's the white guy. 34% receiving callbacks, right? 34% of the white guy without a criminal record got callbacks, so him, right? 14% of the black guy without a criminal record gets callbacks, but 17% of him. Employers would rather hire this guy with a felony drug conviction than him. You understand? They're the same candidate, y'all. His resume says Ohio State University engineering degree, 3.4 degrees. And his resume says Michigan State University engineering degree, 3.4 GPA. Whatever it is, right? You got it? They're the same person. See, that's affirmative action. That's racism. That's discrimination. There's no reason. There's zero reason. And if you ask any white employer or brown employer or black employer, do they discriminate? Every single one will say no, but we do these studies. And then we subtly watch and we see what happens. And we see again and again and again, we see discrimination. So we see that white people are going to benefit. Men benefit. All sorts of things, right? All right, thanks, Doug. Thanks. So look, let's do another one. I showed you this one before. Next slide. So we sent out 5,000 resumes that were identical except the name. And the name sort of would give it off. Marianne, Brett, Greg, Jill, et cetera, right? Even though we had a black dude the other day named Brett. But nonetheless, on average, right? Tamika, Ebony, et cetera. Who gets the most Who gets the most responses? Next slide. These 50% more. These are jobs, man. This is serious. This is like your job. So, look. you think it's a fair system. Or we think like, yeah, but it really is beneficial to be black or to be brown because you get all these advantages. Really, what are the advantages that I've shown you thus far? Like, we're controlling for things here. This is not just making this stuff up. This is being controlled for. We're looking. The resumes are exactly the same. We just move a name. Go to the next one. Or here, this is one. This is a dude in the current department. He sent out 1,000 potential employees. These are real jobs. So he sent out these resumes. And all he did was, once again, just change the name. And these are fake resumes. And his idea was, look, maybe this stuff happens when you graduate Penn State or Shippensburg University or, Towson State or something like that. But not when you go to Harvard and Stanford and Duke and Princeton. When you go there, anybody who graduates there is going to be treated equal. So you get a black guy, you get an Asian woman, you get a white guy, you get a Latina woman, whatever it is. If you come out and you're next to a person who's equal, you're going to be treated equal because you're a Harvard grad or a Yale grad or whatever the case is, right? And look what he finds, man. He finds the same thing. That basically black applicants, and again, these are real jobs, but fictitious people. So he made the resumes exactly the same. Exactly the same. You got it? Exactly. So they know nothing other than the resume. He just changed schools. And what he found is that, look at the difference here. Black applicants were about as equal to white applicants who went to state universities and state colleges. Dudes, seriously? Seriously? So you're telling me the black guy has to go to Harvard to compete with the white guy at Penn State? Yeah, that's what he's saying. That's how this is. And so white people, discrimination against white people is increasingly just as bad as discrimination against black people. Really? How many of you want to change places with a black person in this room? To get, the $2,000 in financial aid that they get from being black on average. How about, you want the $2,000 or do you want your white skin? What do you want? Seriously. And everybody has a story. Well, so-and-so got into the college of this and that. Look, that's all stuff. You got to control for the data. And when we control for the data, we see discrimination everywhere we look. You got to control. Just like when somebody doesn't rent an apartment to you because you're black or brown or a woman or you're gay or whatever it is, or you're Arab or you're Muslim or you're in a wheelchair, I have no idea. Whatever, that is not discrimination unless you can verify for certain under similar circumstances that they then turned around and rented the apartment to somebody else. So clearly they did not want to rent the apartment to you, and even then you don't know. You just don't know. You have to control for everything. And when we control, this is what we see. Next one, bro. This is actually a really good one. So what they did, and this isn't discrimination per se, but this is how it begins, y'all. So they took this picture in the middle. So these are gradations of skin color, okay? You can see that. They took the picture in the middle, and they would show people this picture just for a brief second. And they'd show it with the one word, and the word was either educated or ignorant. Did I talk about this when I did the race mixing thing? Okay, so either educated or ignorant. So you didn't have a long time to really look at it. You just looked at it for a brief couple of seconds, and then you were done. And then they do some things, and then they go back to it. And they say, hey, they show you all of these right here. And they say, hey, can you pick out that picture that we showed you? Just pick the one out, which is the face that we showed you earlier. And lo and behold, when they show that face with the word educated, which are the faces they tend to remember? These. And when they show that face with the word ignorant, which are the faces they tend to remember? Here. It's deep in us, you all. It's not only deep in white people, by the way. It's deep in black and brown people. That cop, the first cop that was beating that kid up, was a brown cop. It's deep in all of us. It's there. It starts early. It's these messages. They're there. They get there. They seep into our souls. We might think like, wow, I'm treating everyone equal and I'm being fair. Like everybody thinks they're being fair. Everybody thinks they're treating everybody equally. But when we do these tester studies and we control for your behavior, we constantly and consistently see discrimination and what appears to be racist behavior in some way. Dudes, by the way, hey, white people, can I say something here really fast? Dude, can you just stand up real fast? Look, you might be thinking, wow, yeah, this is kind of screwed up, right? This is not cool, right? Dude, stand up real fast. Look, here comes, stand right here now. Look, you might be thinking, hey, this is uncool. It's not fair. It's kind of screwed up. It shouldn't be this way. Like, yeah, that's not what they're thinking. You know what one thing that I know that they're thinking, and all the other dark-skinned people in the room are going like, damn, this is going to affect my life. Like, this is going to affect my life. It's going to have an effect. With the degree to which they get jobs, you know what, want to know what else? Can you go back one real fast? Want to know what else they found? When the employers responded to them about the job, and they said, hey, we have a job for you. The employers that responded to the black applicants, responded on average with jobs that pay $3,000 less on average than the jobs to the white applicants. So the employer came back, and I'm like, oh yeah, here it is. Hang on. And I'm looking at them, and I'm thinking like, oh yeah, we got these jobs for these two, right? This is cool. And like, yeah, here's a job for them, and here's a job for you, and here's a job for you, and the jobs that I give them look nice, right? Except here's the problem. I picked out jobs for them that on average across the board were paid $3,000 less than the jobs I sent off to white people. So I am less likely to give them a job, and even when I do, it pays less than the ones I give to white people. And so the white people, my white brothers and sisters, you all right? Dude, there's nothing you need to do right now at all. You don't have to go sacrifice yourself. You don't have to reach into your wallet and just start handing money around to all black and brown people in the class. There's nothing you need to do other than just this right here. I have a certain privilege that I don't realize or have not realized that I have. And when you graduate Penn State, you will have a privilege. And maybe you won't get the one job you want because it will go to her because she's a woman or because she's black or whatever. Maybe you won't. Maybe you will. Who has any idea? But in all these other ways, you have the advantage, man. Does any white people want to just give it up? Just be black? You want to just send off your resumes and be black? Just send them off. Just tell them, hey, I'm black, by the way. Just want to let you know. Change your name to Tamika, Shakira, Shaniqua. Just change your name. See how it goes. You want to do that? That's what I'm talking about. It's just acknowledging something. And it's different for everybody, right? Thanks, man. Thanks. We talked about class in here. White people in class who are working class and poor, it's like, yeah, you are not in the same boat as upper middle class black and brown people. Like, they clearly have an advantage over you. They do. But right now I'm just talking about race. I already talked about class. Now I'm talking about race. And I'm talking to white people. All things considered, you're going to rather be white. Okay, go ahead.